Hi folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to the anime review. Today we're looking at episode 1 of Violet Evergarden. Now, probably can see my hands now, right? That was weird, right? Like to do that with my hands. But no, literally, with the whole setup of my new desk and all that, you can actually see me more at a level of where I'm at. So now you can see what I'm doing with my hands. When before you couldn't really see that. I had the for many of you guys who didn't know, my original setup, because I had the monitor being a little low, I had to put like various books and stuff to stack it up higher. But lo and behold, that made it so you can only see up to like basically my head and like part of my torso. But now you can actually see my hands, you can see my shoulders, etc. So yeah, I do have arms and I do have hands, people. Hopefully you guys don't mind though. I am very one of those people. I'm one of those people that talk a lot with their hands. So I don't do it like some of my friends will go with this nonstop. I don't do that, but because as you can see, sometimes I'll just put my hands together, etc. But I do typically do talk with my hands. So if you guys have a problem with that, I'm sorry in advance. But it's kind of what I have to do. But anyways, like I said before, we're looking at the first episode of Violet Evergarden, an animation by Kyoto Annie, which many of you should know has already a track record of making some of the most beautiful animations. Still one of my favorites. I know for a lot of people it's not, but Beyond the Boundary still is one of my favorites, Kyoto Annie. They've also done some movies that I really love too, etc. But in terms of series that we're talking about, I really love Violet. Beyond the Boundary. Violet Evergarden, though, possible, just possible, that this could be my next favorite thing, because the very first episode captured me in a way that hasn't been anything this season has done yet so far. I mean, don't get me wrong, this season so far has been a lot of good shows. Really, we've seen some great shows, but the very first episode of Violet Evergarden had me watching and just captured by what's going on screen. It was just that good. So in case you guys have never heard of Violet Evergarden, I'll give you guys a rundown of the series, or at least the story. We have our main character, Violet, who is a young girl who's been in the military for apparently a long time. As the show says, it's probably since she was a kid she's been trained to be the ultimate weapon. She's not per se I want to say like mystical being or some kind of robotic creature or anything like that. No, she just was a normal girl that was raised up to be a military person. So she has the ability to stay up for long hours. She can work nonstop until basically she gets just exhausted, etc. And we see this kind of happen with her daily job in the first episode. But what was interesting, apparently something happened at the very end of the war that put her in the hospital. She lost both arms. They reattached these I want to say these like almost they look like Full Metal Alchemist arms. And I think if you've seen the previews of the show, which by the way previews should have made a lot of people see the show in general, because I mean the previews for it were amazing, but they showed that she has like these robotic arms that she has, so that's the only thing robotic about her. But what essentially is this series I think is trying to do is we're not going into the concepts of war too much. We're going to see probably flashbacks, we're going to see highlights of the war, but this is the aftermath. This is the rest period that the war has after the fact. When the war's completed, the people of the country that we're in currently had won the war, everything's done. It's now the civilian lifestyle. And for Violet, who's been a tool of the military since she was a kid apparently, it's going to be the series going to focus on her readjusting to that lifestyle, that civilian lifestyle. And we can already see that's going to be problematic. Colonel Hoggins, who apparently is the secondary main character of the show, took her in because apparently he was ordered by the major to do that. And we don't know what's the major happened. We figured, I'm going to presume the major died or something horrible happened to him, but they really didn't explain. Like, he didn't flat out just say it. And I think it was more so because saying the colonel died, or excuse me, the major died to Violet, would have probably destroyed her. As we see from the first episode, she is a very, I want to say volatile person. She could break apart very easily. We already saw that when she was already put into the house and told, hey, just relax here, just have a normal life. She couldn't do that. She legit said that if the war wasn't existing anymore, if she wasn't able to be used for the war, she should just be removed from life. She should just have, be a disposable being, as she put, I think, the exact words. And that's going to be interesting, because that's going to be one of the focal points of the show, is seeing Violet undergo this extreme shift as a character, going from a war dog to essentially just a regular old girl. Now, I want to say we've met some other characters too. Nothing really right now about them is standoffish. Like, I'm not really saying anything bad about them, but at the same time, nothing really pops up to me with them. They seem very interesting, to say the least. We have Violet's new job, which looks like it to be like a post office of sorts. She's then going to be working, as we see in the last part of the episode, as I want to say it's the memoir Memoir Dolls something writer. I think forgot exactly what it is, but essentially it's a ghostwriter. And if you guys don't know what a ghostwriter is, it's someone who types up everything for you because maybe you lack the skills of typing and you need someone to make sure it's perfect, whatever you're typing. But we see that one of the phrases that this one guy asked one of the Memoir Dolls to write for him was that he wanted to tell this girl how he felt about her. And lo and behold, they wrote, I love you at one part. And that made Violet like just zone out for a second because she remembers just as the Major was dying, or quote unquote dying, that was the last words to her before saying, hey, listen, I want you to live a normal life. My last order to you was to live a normal life, free from the war, run away, and I love you. So she wants to know what that word is, and that's why Colonel Hodgson took her from being a postal person to working there, because he knows that that's the first thing she's ever asked for before. She's never had a mind of her own, always taking orders, always doing whatever she had to do. And that's really sad. That really is kind of sad. So Violet's character is going to definitely be one of the focal points of the show, and I'm very interested to see how they take her down the road. Will she fall in love? Will she break down? I'm presuming all these things are going to happen to her, but to see it on screen will be interesting. One of the things I really loved about the episode too was the animation. The animation, I mean, again, KyoAni does some amazing animation with everything they've touched. And with the whole concepts of the Senai, you can see the war, you can see the details of the war. I mean, like, they show people getting basically shot up full of bullets. You see her at one point armless and stuff like that. It's you definitely gonna get that Senai approach to it with animation, which I'm really looking forward to. But even the day and night cycle that we saw, how it trickled over the area, it reminded me of a movie. That's like how nice the animation for KyoAni was, or excuse me, for Violet Evergarden was. And KyoAni never really surprised me with that. So again, that's probably one of the definitely highlights of the show. Music sounds really good. I love the voice acting. I think everyone's going to do a stellar job with that. If I have anything bad to say about the show so far, mind you, this is the first episode. I'm not going to say anything horrible about the show, mind you, but I want to say the only thing I have issues with it is possibly, will I be able to review this constantly? It's not because of the time. It's not because I can't review it. I'm probably always going to have the reviews out for like 9 to 10 o'clock at night around this time. But, seeing how we have this show that it is a slice of life and a Senai work, it always is questionable if you could review stuff like that, because I know a lot of reviewers, when they go up there, they'll start talking about bit by bit of everything that's happening. I don't want to do that stuff, and you guys know that's not my style of doing that, where I just regurgitate what happened on screen. I talk about my emotions through it. I talk about what I felt, I liked about it, what I didn't like, etc. And even with the new format, that's still the same thing. But doing with slice of life shows, or even Senai shows that are like this, it's hard because what will happen next week? Is it going to be just more of the same of her finding herself more? Is it going to be something epic happens? What will happen next? So it could definitely be a very formulaic show if not handled correctly. That is probably one of the things that will hurt the show the most, and that'll make one of the hardest things for me as a reviewer to review this show. But in terms of that, I have nothing else to say that's bad. I think that the show will do a great job, and I really, that reserve, that complaint about it will be definitely something I don't see happening, but it's a possibility. Anyways, so what did you guys think about the episode? That's my question to you guys. Let me know in the comments below. As always, if you like the reviews, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, check out my Patreon for various rewards, etc. if you want to. I will talk to you later. Have a great, blessed night, everyone. God bless you all. Bye-bye.